Greetings, Lighthead here, and in this video I cover an absolutely disgraceful subject that disgusted a nation. Two men, or slime as the case may be, demonstrated how lacking in respect and common values some people are. They defaced a national landmark, making the beautiful surrounding countryside poorer for what they considered to be a laugh, and are soon to be judged for their crimes.
It makes me mad!
I speak, of course, of the felling of the Sycamore Gap tree. Not an awful lot to cover here, to be honest, so let's go straight to the fact. Daniel Graham, 39, and Adam Carruthers, 32, snuck out in the middle of the night, equipped with a full selection of tree-felling equipment that any tree surgeon would be envious of, and cut down the 200-year-old sycamore for nothing more than and giggles. Why would anyone do this, you ask? Perhaps a look at their mugshots will provide you with some idea. Not exactly the types you'd associate with Fortune 500, are they?
No!
Thankfully, some anonymous and decent fellow rang the police with information that led directly to their arrest.
One of the lads that had done it, Adam Carruthers, has got the saws back in his possession.
So you're saying that one of the lads that did it, Adam Carruthers, has got the saws?
Yeah, the saws are back in his possession.
The chainsaws?
Yeah.
And they can now get on with prosecuting the arses off of these bottom feeders. As an Englishman, I feel a particular disdain for their actions. I'm disinclined to be the sort of boorish Drake who likes to bend everyone's ear about how proud they are to be an Englishman. See racist. And I'm no nationalist. See racist. Yet symbolically, I can only look down upon anyone that would willingly deface a national landmark for the purposes of humour. Not to generalise, but let's be honest, from the looks of them, they were most likely intoxicated. It's people like that I often see bumming for free handouts in my local high street whilst being high as a kite.
Bloody freeloaders!
More and more these terrible people seem to be seeping into society and ruining everything around them, and we need them to go away. As for the damage caused, well, the damage to the tree alone is valued at £622,000. And then there's the damage to the wall itself. Hadrian's Wall, the construction of which began in 122 AD as a means of keeping the ancient Picts, Scottish tribes, out of Roman-occupied territory. It is a national treasure and has inspired people for nearly 2,000 years. It stretches from the east coast to the west coast, was high and impenetrable across the land, garrisoned by troops dotted along its perimeter, and was a truly spectacular project. And it was built entirely without the methods or useful machinery we possess today. And these idiots caused over £1,000 worth of damage to it.
God damn it!
The Sycamore Gap was also featured in the hilarious Robin Hood Prince of Thieves with Kevin Costner and Morgan Freeman. And a whole bunch of TV shows and documentaries, and was generally the sort of wonderful beauty spot that anyone in their right mind should know not to mess with. But these scummers did. And they're looking at 10 years in the hole for their crimes. That's right.
You're gonna be mine!
I sincerely hope those prosecutors show no mercy and throw every page of the book right at their clueless faces. As Joey Swole would sternly say,
"You need to do better."
Punish me too, Jerry.
Ultimately, I'd argue that to deliberately go out of your way to deface a piece of history and a part of your native soil like this shows that you may not deserve to even inhabit your own homeland. If we can't respect our land, home and history, then what values do we even have? So rise up, Judge! Rise! And smite them and anyone who would be a disrespectful bottom feeder! Because if we don't make an example of rats like this, then we can absolutely guarantee that it's only a matter of time before such a thing happens again. Like and subscribe. This is just a quick aside to thank my new subscribers for joining. I always appreciate your interest, and without you, I'd be unable to do this for a living. Which I can't anyway, because I've only been at this for a few short months and don't have anywhere near enough followers to even begin monetization. As you'll know, I'm not really one to go out of my way to ask you to like and subscribe. However, I feel I might attempt it here one time because unless you're recycling someone else's creation and trying to pass it off as your own, or even selling out completely and just baiting viewers with death videos or a nice butt in a bikini, it's not easy going to gain momentum on this platform. But then nothing worth doing is easy, is it? I'd also like to inform you that I now have a job. Yes, surprise, surprise! I was one of the great unemployed up until a few short days ago, thanks to the vicissitudes of fate. And now that I work full-time and have a god-awful commute, it means I'll have less time to make videos. That's not to say I won't try to churn out as many as I can for your greedy, greedy eyes, but when you're exhausted and have to fit a bunch of other requirements into your day, well, it tends to sap away at one's time. Do bear with me.